Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Close Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here. Happy Monday. Hopefully you're off rocking and rolling. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and a lot of people across the country are kind of juggling spring break with kiddos, uh, cold snaps. I talked to a buddy of mine this morning who's out buying his kids new shoes, new galoshes, snow boots, because they've got holes in theirs. And so it's been interesting here going from basically 82 Thursday afternoon to basically 39 over the weekend. So, but anyway, as winter, is dying with his last gasp of the year, it is a beautiful Monday morning here. Clear skies. It's going to be a beautiful day, and let's talk about some beautiful deals. So, this past weekend, we actually had Saturday was our Note Weekend training class. We had a good showing for that, and so check it out on our YouTube channel, the most recent Note Weekend training or Note Training 101. And we do have an upcoming class in just over a month in April, taking place via Zoom. So get signed up for that class while we still have discount tickets as little as $4.97 for you. That includes you plus a spouse. And like I said, 3 days of live, April 18th through the 20th. Let's be glad to have you. But anyway, reason you're here today, as we always like to talk about, is notes. And people are always looking for some deals. And one of the great things that we get is we get a lot of notes sent to us. And we've got a portfolio of notes that one of our coaching students bought, I don't know, about 2 years ago. They bought five notes in the first 30 days. If that tells you how committed they were. They've done a great job. They're very busy professionals out of New Jersey. Investing is not their only thing. They run a clinic and some other things. And so they bought notes with their own money, looking to, obviously add cash flow to their bottom line, to diversify their investment portfolio. They've done fix and flips. They've got some commercial bill and some other stuff they have besides a very thriving clinic in the New Jersey area. But anyway, they had this tape in, they bought stuff. They've had it for a while. They're all third-party service. They've held it for a while. And now they're looking to raise some capital for a different project. Now, they've also raised private capital for stuff. And they're like, well, let's look at, we bought these at a pretty decent price. What can we turn around and sell these for? Because they're looking to raise some capital relatively quickly for some things. I'm like, well, we could sell the notes. You could sell some partials off. Sell a year of payment stream for 10 payments, and they were interested in that, but they're looking to raise a little bit more capital on that aspect. That's okay. It's great stuff. So I thought we would dive into that tape this morning. Our WC and crew members had access to this over the last couple of days. Hey, good morning, Cord. Good to see you today as well, buddy. Hope everything's going well for you. So I thought we'd break this down here for you guys to take a look at it, as we're now going to start marketing this trade, this pool, to folks outside of our WCN crew members. They've had, had their customary 48-hour head start. I'm sure we'll get a few bids. We've already gotten a few bids in from a couple students that I'll be going with later today. But I wanted to open it up for those of you out there that listen to the show, but also for those that maybe come back afterwards to see us kind of go through a tape or help us go through a performing tape on the different options that are available. So let's dive into this episode so we can go through it. I think it'll be right at about an hour. I don't, I do encourage questions. So I see Cord, a few others there join us here live on the Zoom. Feel free to ask questions. I'm going to jump over to YouTube really fast, even though it's with it being Monday at noon our time here. We might not see too many folks there, but we might get some folks, which is always good. And I know a lot of folks are like, hey, I'm looking for, oh, there we go. So questions, people looking for deals. Hey, Eleanor, good to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. All right. So let's dive into the tape and go from there. So let's pull up the presentation we did. All right. So this is like I said, it's a tape of 16 notes. And if you look at the map, you see stuff, Kansas, Arkansas, or is that Southern Missouri? I can't remember where it's at. Alabama, South Carolina, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois, not Cook County. We're going to take a look at. And this is not, they've got values. They're all got a ton of equity above what's owed. That's the beautiful thing. I didn't take the time to pull values on this. I thought we could do that together on here so you have a bit of an idea of what we're looking at here. But whenever you get a pool of notes in, I immediately look at, okay, what's it break down to? And out of the 16 notes, 14 are performing, 2 are non-performing. They hadn't started the legal process on the foreclosure on those 2 because they've been busy. They were performing, become non-performing. They just have not had the chance to work out. Now, they've had more notes in this. A few have paid off, which have been good things for them. But to give you a bit of the highlight, like I said, 14 performing, 2 non-performing. clients looking to raise some capital off of this. You've got balances anywhere from $1,200 to $90,000. Okay. They're all with third-party servicing companies. They're all serviced with a third party. Not the same servicer, but I think there's two different servicers on here, depending on how they bought them. And no, these aren't owner finance where the borrower is covering the servicing fee. So you would be responsible for the servicing fee. Okay. These are all contract for deeds, I believe. And they were previously bought in bulk by another one of our coaching students a few years back that were non-performing. He bought them, got them working, and have been performing pretty well for the most part over the last few years. There's anywhere from 14 months of payments, that's the low balance of 1,200, all the way to 268 months of payments left. So there's a mixed bag. It's just they're all contract for deeds. They're all somewhere around that 9.9, 10% interest rate. Okay. So let's pull up the tape now and dive into the actual spreadsheet. Shall we do that, everybody? All right. So here we go. All right. So here is the spreadsheet. Oh, let me go over here. I always forget that. Why is this not? There we go. Okay. So you can see they're all, okay, we got a couple other things that are not, I don't know why these are hidden. There we go. They did put their estimated value. Okay, so they're all performing. Actually, two are non-performing. They were performing, but let me go ahead and highlight those real fast. So that's the first thing to take a look at is when you get stuff in, okay, are they with a third-party servicer, which is great. Their estimated value of the whole pool, if we add all this stuff up, comes to 1.65 million, or we're just under 1.65. So there's a plenty of equity. Now, if you go over to the, let's see here, let's go over to the estimated current balance. $427,000. So that's a really good equity value. Like I said, they're all relatively higher. Let me add one more column in here. I'm going to insert this. We're going to see LTV on this compared to that number. Divide that by what their estimated value is. I'm pretty much sure that's just a Zillow value. All right, yeah. So anywhere from 15 cents on the dollar, yeah, to 1 cent, 1%. So let's change that to a percentage for you. There we go. So yeah, so it's at a pretty good, there we go. So it was equal to that divided by, there we go. So it's about 26 cents on the dollar. So it's good. There's plenty of equity, right? Lower balances. As we go over through here, they're all first liens. City, zip, state, next due. Okay, so that's where we want to look at the next due ones. So we can see the ones that are non-performing. So you get one here that's about a year behind. We're going to highlight that one in yellow. And then this one is come up on, it's actually 2 years behind. The rest of them are relatively due for January 31st or February. Now, they sent this to me, about 2-3 weeks ago. So they've been making payments. I guarantee all of you basically have that are performing. So they're all due for like March 15th, March 1st, which is, it's March 10th now. So, and then, or the servicer hadn't updated. So we could definitely assume that these are performing, except for these two, this one in Parsons, Kansas, and this other one in Allendale, South Carolina. Okay. Now, since they're all, if you look at the interest rates, there is one mortgage in here, sorry, 5.13 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The rest are all, the one's at 7.5. I know that one was modified, I believe, but the rest are all at 10%, 9.9%. So some pretty good yields. Now, if we go over here to some of these, all occupied, all right. And you can see, they're all occupied. They've all got some values. Their values are anywhere from like 86,000, 96,000, 64. The one down here, it's only got like a $1,400 balance, is worth 147, 295 in this value. And that puts you in a pretty good, that's a great thing about having such a low LTV is these borrowers on these contract for deeds don't want to get evicted, right? Birmingham, Alabama, Peru, Indiana, Cardwell, Missouri, East Moline, Illinois, Allendale, South Carolina, Detroit, Michigan, Gary, Indiana, St. Louis, Hartford, Toledo, Ohio, Bedford, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Kendallville, Indiana. So you've got people that have all this equity. They do not want to get evicted on. All right, they do not. But let's first look at these two that are non-performing. Okay, so the current balance on this one in Allendale, South Carolina. All right, let's just look at it. So we're gonna go over, look at the values, and drop the address in, see what Zillow says it is. All right. So Allendale, South Carolina, it says it's only 22,000. So basically 1,000 square foot. So it's a 3-1. That is $22,000 is what they say the value is. But if we go back to our spreadsheet, I know it's valued at more than that because I think this got something to do with what it was sold for. Yeah, it's a current balance is 11. What did they say the value on this was? 44 is the estimated value. You can't trust Zillow on that. All right. So when it's something like this, it's a low balance, 40, if you figure the non-performing side of things. And so the estimated value is 45. All right. And it's worth 11. Okay. That's the current balance of all is 11. Something like that, if they haven't paid one. Now, South Carolina, I think it's an eviction since it's not a traditional mortgage you're ready to foreclose on. I would actually tell my investor, don't sell this one. I mean, to sell it at 65 cents on the dollar at $6,000, and then letting somebody else go to foreclose at 44, to evict the tenant, it's a better play for him to keep the property. But he's like, hey, I still need to raise some capital. So if we go in here, and let's just go ahead, and since this is insert, since the value's at 45, I would say, hey, you got to be at roughly around 45, 50 cents on the dollar, since there's all this equity, right? So let's just say 50. Let's say purchase price on this one. So if you're gonna do this one at 50 cents, because you got to have some room in there to evict, and if to go that route. So yeah, so if we did say 50 cents on the dollar, oops, let's change that to $1 now. Because if the bar comes to the table and pays you off, you want to make it worth your time too, right? So if you want to see about transferring, you want to make about $5,000 on your $5,700 investment. So you want to double your money on something that low. But that would be an ideal deal for a self-directed IRA, provided that the property's in good shape. That old photo, if we go back to the photo, the screen share. All right, let's go back here. Let's click on what it looks like here. This photo is from May of 2023, so it's almost 2 years ago. But if we move, I mean, look at the neighborhood. I mean, it's, it's got these little brick houses. Allendale's not the biggest place, but that's the property there from 2 years ago. So you got some benches. You've got obviously some pride of ownership. They've got these lights out here and trying to protect from people running them over. The lawnmower is being fixed. The little shed in the back. I mean, that's a nice little red brick home, Got a house across the street. Well, let's make sure that's not the house that we're looking for, right? Let's look at the street. Can we see a street number on here? See, is this house across the street? Now, if it is this house across the street, which I don't think it is, that's still not bad looking house. Probably could use a new roof. It's probably a good sized lot there. Hey, that could be a pretty good little investment property there. Okay. Sherwood Circle. Yes, that does say Sherwood Circle. Exactly. It does say that there. Forest Circle. Let's look. Oh, you're right. Maybe it pulled it. No, see, it keeps referring to it. Maybe the address is, that's what it pops up. Let's go back here one more time. says. Show it a circle. So that says what it is. Maybe they've changed the name since it was originally. We've seen that happen sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, if it's one of those two houses and the houses look okay, I mean, if it's at valued at 45, is it a value at 45? You pick it up at 5, they go 12. It's worth, I think that's worth going into it for. You know what I mean? Now that's let's go back here. Let's go back here to our spreadsheet. To one thing we did not have in here, that's your UPB too. Okay. That's their current balance. I believe their current unpaid balance. Since they haven't made a payment, what's their P&I payment? $326.56 a month. Their legal balance is actually going to be a lot higher. Let's see, it matures supposedly in 2029, so it's 4 years out. So March of 2024 is the next due. So they're a year behind. So you'd add another, let's do here. Let's do deferred. Another $4,000 to the spreadsheet here. So they actually owe roughly about 15, $16,000. And it'd be a pretty good return there. I mean, let's look at it this way. If you buy it at that and you get, you paid it somewhere between 6 to $7,000, you get a pretty good return if they owe 14 and to pay off for the next 4 years. That'd be worth looking at putting 6 to $7,000 away in an IRA that you put some work. And it's service. Who's it service with? It's service with FCA. So that's probably part of the problem there. 2 is they're not really great at the follow-up aspect of things. So live to learn. Does that make sense for you? I appreciate you talking about that. All right. But that's a potential. I mean, it's not a bad little deal on a bad little house, on a good little house. Obviously, we'll double check that address to make sure. Okay. Now let's go to the other one. Let's do the one here in Kansas, see what it looks like. $2320 Clark Avenue, Parsons. Okay, so there's 2320. Let's see here. 2320, that's the house. This is from December of 2022. So it's a couple years old, but look at this one. It's not, it's pretty similar little cookie cutter house. Looks like it's got a little building in the back. Yeah, or some cars in the back there. All right, that's not a bad looking little house. Let's go and see what the value says. So they say roughly value. So Zillow gives it a value. They say 35. Oh, this is a photo. We'll see. That's original photo. They say it's worth 35 from a couple years ago. Yeah, see, 2040. But what's great is you can see some of the interior photos. Now, somebody's been living in this for a while. This is probably the original. Yeah, it's probably the original listing. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 925 square feet. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. So when was this one? So they say get a value of 65. That's about right. Date of the note sheet, May 5th, 2015. It matures in 2045. Okay. They owe 28. They haven't made a payment in, well, 2 years. Okay. So next payment due January 1st. So 2304 to 24. So 26 months. And their P&I payment is 261. So times 26. So they're about $7,000 behind in their back payments. So the current balance is 25, figure 35 is the payoffs. If you figured, since it's like a smaller balance, 35, 60. So you'd offer 55%. We'll just say 50% as well. We put 50% up here. See, fee, so you're paying 14 on that. Okay. Now, if you got the borrower back on track, let's put a number in there. Just say P&I times 12. This is going to be, let's just going to go do the whole thing across the board. So we'll take the P&I payment times 12 months. So that will cover that all the way down. Now this one down here, they only owe, the current balance is only $12.97. Okay. This is where it's worth about 150. And they're paying on time. Right. There's 14 months left. I wouldn't necessarily waste my time. I mean, you could just say 50 cents on the dollar. And you'd make some money on that, obviously, if there's a year left of making payments. You know, I would almost put this one in a lighter red, you know, and it's not really worth pursuing. I just tell my investors, just keep that one. You're going to take a little bit of loss, just more money for some. But if somebody, hey, if they wanted to sell it, somebody, you give them 10 months, they're going to make a little bit of money, 10 to 12 months of payments on this. This one has been paying down for a while. Okay. All right. Just so you see what it kind of looks like. Yeah, this is October 2022. So it's somebody's got a lot of pride of ownership out there selling lawnmowers, it looks like, right? I remember actually going through the due diligence of this one when they were buying this one, because I remember the lawnmowers. Okay. So, all right. So that's, you know, it's valued that this guy's probably going to pay off last year. It is valued at 1,176 square foot. It's a 3.1C, 112, it says. This is his estimate on it. Okay. Whoopie-doo. Let's go look at the rest of these things now. Okay. Now, the rest of these, we look at the remaining payments on these, because that's obviously you want to get a pretty good return. Where is the remaining payments column? Here we go. 75, 26, 78, 87, 108, 71, 87, 30. Here's another one that's kind of low. It matures in, she took it out 2018. It matures in 27. So it's basically a 10-year loan. So she's making a sizable chunk of payments, right? 50, basically about $500 a month. Okay, current balance is 14. So if you were to pay, since these are all have a ton of equity, let's just look at if you were to buy these at 80 cents on the dollar, because they've got there's a ton of equity. They're performing, right? So we go 80 cents on the dollar. There you go. All right, 80 cents a dollar. And if we figure in 12-month cash flow, sorry, not ROI, cash flow. And now we go in here, figure in gross 12-month ROI. So we take the cash flow divided by your purchase price. For those, that's about a 58% ROI in that one. That's buying at 80 cents on the dollar. Okay. Because it's a low balance. It's at 12 grand. They're performing, right? You're going to get cash flow. They're making $497 a month. P&I payment to you. You know, that's going to be a pretty good return. Current balance is 12 grand. That's not so bad. That could be a pretty good day, right? Let's drag this down and look at the one here in Peru. Actually, let's just put, if you get these others in there too, if you got them back on track. Yeah, if you could get this borrower back on track in Allendale, South Carolina, that's a pretty good return, 68% on your money. Okay. Because in the first year, they start paying, if they just reinstate, even if they don't pay extra, it's a pretty good return. I'd want to pay a little bit extra, but that's just me. This other one's at 22% if you paid 80 cents on the dollar. The one in Parsons, Kansas. Okay. So all in all, yeah, this is 511. We're just going to delete that off because we know you're going to make a chunk of money if you just pay 648. You're not going to get the 3312 more than likely. It's probably going to be paid off in less than that on that little small balance. But you get what I'm saying. You know, the only one that isn't a really great return is this one down here at 13%. This is the one in Toledo, Ohio. 96 months left. They have, it's performing. They're making a $500 a month payment. Their interest rate on this at 9. Oh, okay. That's actually pretty. Let's look down at the Grand Rapids at 5.13. Oh, yes, that's at 10%. That's a little cheaper one. All right, so let's look at this one here. They're paying on time. So 80 cents is a lower interest rate. You know, you'd want to drop that down from 80 cents a dollar. Let's say if you drop it down to 65. Let's just do that. That puts it up to about a 12% return. Okay. That's not so bad for your IRA. You buy you're at 70, you're buying it at 50. I'm sorry, current balance on this one is at 90. You're buying it at 58. It is probably, this is probably at first lien. So you'd have to foreclose. It's with Allied. Value is 295. Yeah, that person does not want to lose that house. Let's go back over here and take a look at that. Redfin, basically it's a 1.5 bathrooms, so about 1,400 square foot house. Let's just see what it looks like here. 1120 Benjamin. Always the one behind the tree. Now this is an older photo. It's not. Oh, it's okay. That's a current photo, February 2022. The yellow house. 1120. That's it. Yeah. So it's that big yellow house there. Whoa. They painted it differently. Well, there you go. Yep, 1120. So it's that yellow house there in Grand Rapids. I could see it being worth the 295. This Redfin tells us it's worth 254. Okay. So you got somebody who's got pride of ownership. You could make a 12% return. You know, that's not a bad deal. Would you like to get a higher return? Yeah. You know, that's one that's got the highest balance at 90. So, you know, making a, you know, it's at 30% LTV, you know. You make a 12% return on that one. That's not so bad. Okay. It's potential. All right, let's go to the other one. It's got a lower ROI. because we've been through that. That's a potential one. %13. All right. So this one, we have a balance of 46,000 on it. Let's see, one Toledo. Now there's a couple of Toledo here. You could pick up two, at least maybe 3 in Toledo. So you get to know it. Fly up there, 9, 10 Herald. Yeah, see, this photo is from June of 2023. So look at that. Somebody's put new siding on the house. Some pride of ownership. Look at that back. Ooh, they're doing a good job with that. Okay. Very nice. Price unknown. All right. 906 next to it is a smaller house at 122. Okay. So it's a bigger house, bigger area, 122. Yeah, so it's going to have plenty of equity. You know, they say this, what do they pull values on this one? It's at 202. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, so you buy this at 46, that's 80 cents on the dollar. You get 13% cash and cash return, plus all the upside of that too. Now, Do I think this bar would ever refinance? Probably not right now, but they're going to pay you off relatively. Look at that. So 96 months. So that's the thing you want to look at too, is run these through a financial calculator. Make sure you're getting a good yield on this. We're just running some basic numbers on this performing stuff. So run it through your calculator and amortization table. It matures. Yeah, see, it matures in 8 years. Okay. All right, not so bad. I'm just going to go ahead and highlight these in green because we've looked at this. All right, let's go for the one in Birmingham, Alabama, and we'll start working our way down from there. So current balance only is 12. If you picked it up at 80 cents of the dollar at 10, you get some cash flow on that. It'd be pretty good ROI. So like, I think back taxes, escrow balance is negative 2,200. So tax and insurance must have just gotten paid. P&I payments just under 497. Let's go up here and look at this one. Now, Birmingham, Alabama. I like contract for deeds in Alabama better than I like mortgages, because in Alabama, you've got a 1-year redemption period if you buy the note and then have to go through the foreclosure process. But a contract for deed, ooh, this is an older photo. That's about 6 years. Let's see if we can get a better look at the property. It's not so bad look. It's just dark. Okay. 1,335 square foot. This is worth 86. Okay. I sent somebody drive by to make sure it's there. But they don't look too bad. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. All right, we'll highlight that in green. That would be a pretty good deal. You know, that's 6 years of payments coming. You might drop it down a little bit, maybe not 80 cents a dollar, but if you drop it down, let's just say 65. Paid 83 for it. It's worth 12 and some change. Okay. Yeah. You'll make some money on it. Your return goes up a little bit. All right, let's look at the next one. This one is in 555 Tyler Avenue in Peru, Indiana. Current balance is 9. You know, they owe not much. I mean, they only owe 9. Value is 96. May not have a photo. So if I remember correctly, it's a nice looking property. I remember seeing the BPO on this one. Okay. Yeah. So you can kind of get an aerial view of this. Let's go back here. So this is valued at 51. Okay. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,008 square foot. The idea is the property on these, they're smaller properties in a lot of cases. But the thing is, somebody's making payments on this. When this note was originated, now they're making a $540 a month payment at 9.9. It's valued at 96. You know, it was taken out in 2007. They've been in it for 20 years, just about 18 years. And it matures here in 2 years. Yeah, so you probably want to, yeah, you don't want to adjust that down. So instead of it being at 80, you probably want to adjust it down to 60, 65. Yeah. Just because it's a low balance. And most of this stuff is going to be a principal pay down, not a lot of interest on that one. Okay. All right. So let's go through here. Let me do this. Just put this up here. Auto Summit. Let's look at Caldwell, Missouri. Balance is only 16. Yeah. That's it. This is a photo from about 10 years ago. Got their chicken coop, their kids, got some definitely emotional equity in this property. Probably worked not too far from there. There you go. Let's go back. Spreadsheet. $16. When is the mature of this one? Matures in 2031, so in 6 years. 6.5 years. Yeah, they're paying on time. Yeah, you can maybe drop it down a little bit. See, but it's not a bad looking little cash loan asset there for you. East Moline, Illinois. Date of 2012. They only owe 15. It matures in 2032. So in 7 years and 2 months, it's worth 50,000. Oh, this one here. Yeah, see, not the biggest of properties. So this is from May of 2023, but somebody's living in it. At the garage. Yeah, maybe a boat. Okay. Yeah, so bad. All right. Same thing, it's not a bad yield on that one. That one, if you bought it at the 80 cents, you'd see, yeah, a pretty good ROI at 46. We've already talked about the Allendale, South Carolina, was that brown home. Let's look at Detroit. Okay, so this one is, it's half, it's a duplex. It's half this, I think it's this 9126. I think it's this one here. I don't think it's this one. This is from 6 years ago anyway. Yeah, 9126. So pride of ownership, obviously. This photo is a little outdated. I believe there's an update photo where this tree's gone from what I remember from the BPO I saw. Okay. Same thing, pride of ownership. Decent neighborhood in Michigan and just right there. A lot of red brick homes. Good stuff. All right. Same thing, that's got 108 months remaining. They owe 43. If you pick it up for 36, it's a 21% cash and cash return. It matures in 2033. So you got 8 more years of that one. Okay. Not bad. Let's go to Gary, Indiana. $839. That's it. Nothing too flashy about that. What did they give us a value on that one at? 1147 square foot. It was worth 40. Well, that's what they say. It's worth 40. Let's go back here. This is value 62. P9 payments $297 a month. Current balance is only owes 18. You're at 30 cents on the dollar. Yeah, it's a 24% cash and cash. All right. Using your own funds. Great. St. Louis, Missouri. This one. This, oh, we got some interior photos, which is always nice. Worth 68. Somebody's done a lot of work to rehab this property. 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square foot. I guess these are sinking sideways. Oh, somebody's bought it and rented it out as a Section 8. That's what they're doing. Go Section 8. So say it's valued at 68, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Okay. Let's go back here. So they're making a 350-month P&I payment. Valued at 73. 26 cents of LTV to value. They only owe 18. Yeah. Purchase price, if you pick it up for 15, you'd have a pretty good cash flow at 28% coming in. And it doesn't mature until 2032. So you can have 7 years of cash flow coming in off that, potentially. If they don't, guess what? You foreclose or evict, and then now you have a Section 8 rental. Probably bringing a whole lot more than 350. Okay. Let's look at Hartford, Ohio, 33. This one is making a $500 a month payment. It's with Allied. Estimated value is 125. They only owe 14 and change, so 15. See. It says this is the house. Oh, yeah, I think I remember this house. Yeah, it's a pretty good size house. There's 9 photos of it. Three-bed car garage. Yeah, this is the older photos from when it was originated as a contract for 8 years ago. All right, let's go see if we can't. There it is. This is still an older photo, August 2019. There's the address. But look at that. A lot of emotional equity, flags, wind chimes, and this. I'd like to look at this. Then it's 3-bed car garage back here. Patio. You got a cellar too, basement right there. So that's not a bad little deal there. Definitely somebody who wants to stay in the house. Let's go back to our spreadsheet. Ohio, you evict if they don't pay. So balance is 14. You pick it up for 11. It's a pretty good yield on it. It matures. Now this matures in just a couple years. This has got a lower balance. So you might need to drop it down a little bit more. Let's just say the 65 cents of the dollar. You pay 10 for 14. Your yield's gonna be pretty good for the next. You'd get paid back. Yeah, but you'd make about 20% on your money over the 2 years. It's July, so 2.5 years, give or take. Okay, so not so bad. Let's look at 515 Street, Bedford Street. I'm sorry, Bedford, Indiana. This one is worth 150. Monthly P&I payment is 274. They've got 10 years left to make payments on this one. Balance is 22. Paid 17 for you, get about 19% return. So you can maybe get a little bit higher. Control C. Let's go look at what the property looks like. Yeah, this is a pretty good. This is a, yeah, see, look at this photo. 149. Somebody's bought it in a rehab that, look at that. You hope they don't make payments on this one, all right? Yeah, see, that's wow, that's nice looking. So that one, I mean, a lot of pride of ownership. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 8,000 square foot, built in 24, but obviously been rehabbed in a lot of emotional equity. Look at that thing. I mean, it's landscaping. What is that? A ham radio operator tower on the side of the house there. It's got obviously a rehab basement. Let's see if we can see what the basement looks like in here. Upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. Ooh, look at that old wood. Look at that. That's really nice. It's still upstairs. That's the back, enclosed back. Oh, there we go. So there's the, well, this is a couple years old, so you got to see, you could basically finish this out. I mean, you don't own the property. I'm sorry. You're the bank. You're not going to finish that out. Somebody else is, right? That's a good looking property. I mean, I really like that one. 550 Bedford, Indiana. If they don't play ball, okay, you evict and take the property back. 12 months cash flow, so it's at 19%. Maybe you drop. I mean, you could maybe get it. So let's drop that down. Just say 65. So you're seeing a 20% return. Yeah, there you go. Not so bad. This one, another one, Toledo. These next two are the last two are in Toledo. 499, 449 Clark. Okay, so they owe value on this first one. Oh, it's the same investor on both of these. Okay, so 77 and 57. Same borrower. They owe 34, 35 on one and 33 on the other one. It's a 16. If you're buying 80 cents on the dollar, you're getting a 16 to 15% return. Let's just change both of those. Just see if we get 65. You get the same bar on that one. That gets you about an average of 20% return paying at 65. And it's not so bad. Let's see what they look like. 2449 Clark. They're in the same zip code. Okay. This is a duplex, so and the other address is Park Street. Not so bad. There you go. This is a photo from a couple years back, but oh, it's the white building 238. There you go. Probably rentals. That's okay. You don't have to deal with proper management. You're the bank. And this borrower, if we go back to the spreadsheet, is paying on time and it matures 2042. So you've got 17 years on these. And it's an 11% interest rate on both of these. So that's not so bad. Yeah, you can have cash flow for the next 17 years. Just about, 17 and a half years and make about a 20% return. If you brought in, $50,000 to get them. 43 some change. There you go. 65, 70, yeah. So there you go, guys and gals. What questions do you have? Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, you probably want to reach out or go watch this video. Feel free to reach out to me directly. We're looking for direct buyers. We're not looking for brokers. There's smaller balances on this stuff. The only broker on this one is me. But this is an opportunity for you guys to pick up, a decent deal anywhere from, we'll just remove that last one, anywhere from like, $6,000 and on up. Why not get started in making a double-digit return in your IRA? Why not get started doing something? Okay. If there's any other questions, comments, or concerns, Cord, do you have any questions? Dale, anybody else have any questions on there? Nope. All right. Well, this is in the base camp group. You're part of a WCN crew. And for as little as $97 a month, ladies and gentlemen, you can join our monthly membership at noteumbrella.com. That gets you access to tapes like these that we have available to come across our desk, our pocket listings. You're not going to see these on a listing website because people want to get them moved. But you see them on, get an opportunity for you to tap into deals like this. You get access to some of our training, discounted to other whole variety of different things. And it's the biggest bang for the buck out there. And especially with our upcoming virtual class, you get free access to that at $497 ticket price to that. So get signed up today, noteumbrella.com. It's well worth it for you guys. Be able to pick a phone, have me hold your hand through making your first offer. Of course, like I said, there's a 1% fee or $250, whichever is roughly the cheapest there for you. Well, not the 1%, some of the smaller balances, $50. There's going to be a minimum $250 fee to me on that to help you get that rock and roll and walk you and hold your hands through the process. So, all right, everybody. We do have a question here. No problem, Cord. Well, feel free to book a call with me to help you if you want to make an offer on this. Just getting started with the knowledge. If you've got some money sitting on the sidelines and want to put to work, let's jump on a call. We're glad to help you walk you through making an offer, getting a bid in, and going through the due diligence process to close on your first note deal. So if that's all we've got today, go out, take some action, everybody. Here's an opportunity for you. If you're not in the WCN crew and you'd like to get access, reach out to me directly at talkwithscottcarson.com and book a phone call with me when you talk about it, or email me directly at scott@weclosenotes.com. But thank you so much. Go out, take some action, everybody, and we'll see you at the top. Bye. Hey, real estate investors. So you want to dive into the world of note investing, but don't currently have the funds to sign up for an expensive class or a workshop or one-on-one coaching. Well, then you definitely want to check out the biggest bang for your buck in the note world. And that's our WCN membership. It get you an all-you-can-learn access to our class workshop replays, tapes, weekly coaching calls. For $97 a month, it's the biggest bang in the note industry because you get access weekly with me. You can book one-on-one phone calls with me. As we get different tapes in, we'll share them with our members after our one-on-one coaching students get access to us. We share a variety of tools, like I said, replays to the previous workshop, special discount codes to other events that you can take advantage of to help you get more bang out of your dollar every month. We've been investing in notes for over 20 years, and one of my biggest passions is helping note investors, big and small, get started buying notes. Yes, I got started years ago with no money, no savings, and no list. And I love helping people close on their first deal, get their first private funding partner to help them fund more deals and help them both make above average returns. If you're looking for somebody to help you take your note investing from 0 to 60 and want to get started, my WCN membership is a great place to get started. Like I said, we upload lists to it, video training, coaching calls for $97 a month. What can go wrong? The only thing we ask is you hang around for 6 months, and then if you don't like it, you can cancel. But check it out at noteumbrella.com. That's noteumbrella.com. That's our WCN membership. Get looking at assets today. Start putting your fingers on the trigger to pull the trigger on some note deals here before too long. Yes, anybody can buy notes. I don't care your age, your savings, what race, color, whatever it is. Note investing is all about what action you take, and the first action you should take is signing up for our monthly membership at $97 a month. That's noteumbrella.com. You can also access it by going to weclosenotes.com and checking on the monthly membership. But we are here to help you. Scott Carson, the Note Guy. We look forward to seeing you at the top. Hey, real estate investors. My name is Scott Carson, known across the country as the Note Guy. And as somebody who's been a real estate investor living in the Lone Star State for over 20 years now, I often get questions from people looking to invest in Texas, whether they live here in Texas or they live outside of the Lone Star State. Where do we find our distressed leads? Where do we find our foreclosure list? And the number one source is Roddy's List. This list has been around for 20 plus years. George Roddy over here, smiling face, is a friend, and his source for foreclosures on residential or commercial properties, the sheriff's list, the struck-off list, is second to none because it's just focused on Texas. And if you're looking for Texas deals, which is the fastest state to foreclose in, then you definitely want to check out Roddy's List. You can go to Foreclosure Listing Service, is what it's known for, flsonline.com. If you use the code WeCloseNotes, that's right, WeCloseNotes, it'll get you $20 off your order, whether you're ordering a foreclosure list in Dallas County or Harris County or Travis County or Bexar County, whatever county you're looking in or whatever source list you're trying to buy from them, that'll get you $20 off of the price. Can't beat that. It's a great resource. We use it all the time to find distressed notes, banks with bad debt, private investors who are foreclosing, private individuals who are foreclosing on assets, and also potential REOs for us to purchase or our students to buy. So make sure you check it out at flsonline.com. That's flsonline.com. or foreclosure.info as well. But make sure you tell them that Scott sent you. Use the discount code, once again, WeCloseNotes, to get your $20 off.